Well, if you haven't seen it by now, Blizzard have posted a 20th anniversary in-game event preview over on the official channel, and I just want to break down exactly what all of it means. Firstly, some of this stuff is super cool, and if you're a Classic enjoyer, sorry, none of this is actually to do with Classic. Let's hope we do see some 20th anniversary stuff trickle over to Classic, but this is purely just the War Within. Firstly, which you won't really find out until right at the end of the 20th anniversary in-game event preview video, that's the last time I'm going to say that in full, is that this is actually more than just an anniversary event. This is an entire patch. The entire 11.0.5 patch is dedicated to the 20th anniversary event, and it's going to last a couple of months, and apparently the PTR for it is going to be very, very soon. Getting tons and tons of information about some of this amazing new content before Season 1's even started is pretty mental. So firstly, and probably the most exciting for me personally, is Blackrock Depths. So Blackrock Depths is coming as a 10 to 15 player raid with 3 difficulties. There's going to be 8 main bosses, 5 mini bosses, and as I say, 3 difficulties. So you're going to be able to do it on normal, heroic, and of course LFR. Now, when they got on to talking about some of the time walking stuff, which we'll get to soon, they did mention that these would just go into the standard rotation and wouldn't be going anywhere. Now, I'm kind of hoping Blackrock Depths ends the same way, as in once they've put it in the game, it doesn't get taken out, but it wasn't exactly clear on whether that's the case or not. Gut feeling would be it is just going to be around for the 11.0.5 patch, which would just be the anniversary event, but be kind of cool if it was just left there. At least then people who join halfway through War Within or miss the anniversary event for whatever reason will be able to play it. Then moving on to time walking dungeons. This is obviously nothing new. We've been doing time walking for ages now, but the actual rewards you get from the time walking dungeons for many people is obviously a bit lackluster because you've probably got it all already, or even if you're a brand new player, the actual rewards for the time walking currency is pretty pants. Well, actually, firstly, they're updating the time walking vendors, so there's going to be new items that you can get from them, and hopefully makes these time walking dungeons really worthwhile to do. And also, they're lowering the level requirement to level 10. So before, you would have to get to like level 40 before you could do it. Now, if you create an allied race, for example, straight into time walking, and it's quite fast leveling in time walking dungeons, so that's pretty cool. But they've gone a little bit different. It's not TBC, Wrath, Battle for Azeroth, it's none of the expansions, it's actually original vanilla dungeons. So we're getting the time walking dungeon for Deadmines, Zul'Farrak, Diamol and Stratholme. Now that's both wings for Diamol and Strat, and I think that is mega cool. And they did specifically say that these are just going to go into the standard rotation, so where it goes from TBC time walking to Wrath to Kata, etc, etc. Classic will just, or I should probably call it vanilla, will actually just be part of that rotation as well. So not only will you do it during the anniversary event, they'll naturally pop up over time again. Now there's going to be a big outdoor event that revolves around Chromie, and Chromie really screwing up an area. You're going to be fighting the Scourge, Legion, Scottejaye, and then there's some really well-known bosses like Kel'Thuzad, for example. Now you have to queue into this, so it's not just going to be going in the open world in a particular zone and this big event's going on. You have to specifically queue for it, the same way you would have queued for any world PvP battle, for example. So you're going to have to actually go out of your way to join this event, but I'm sure once we start to see the rewards that are coming from it and the achievements and feats of strength or any transmog and stuff like that, something worth getting excited about. Outside Caverns of Time is getting a bit of a spruce up, so there's going to be certain little fun activities to do. None of it seems particularly interesting from someone that wants to obtain items or mounts or anything like that. It does look like just a fun event or a fun update to Outside Caverns of Time for this year's anniversary event. There's going to be Mount Mania, where you can show off your mount collection, transmog contest, where you vote for the best transmog, costumes, play as your pets, ice rinks, and just, again, loads of fun stuff. If having fun, because you're a WoW player, doesn't interest you, obviously if you don't play WoW to have fun, then you won't be interested in it. But if you want to go over and just mess about, looks like there's going to be some cool little things for you to do. So Korak's Revenge started originally in 2015 and been seen since, and it's basically just Alterac Valley. I mean, nothing really much more to say there. Obviously, it gets its name from the NPC Korak in Alterac Valley. But yeah, you'll be able to do that. But there's going to be some interesting world bosses to kill as well, because you're going to have the 3 dragons. Also going to have Azhagos and Kazak. But also there's going to be Arkavom and Shah of Anger. And obviously, you'll get a quest also as a weekly to kill them, which will reward some form of currency, which we'll probably get into in a minute. There's going to be a new mount as well, which is actually inspired by Ashes of Alar, which is a blue Cold Flame Tempest mount. I'm sure many of you are going to want to get this. There's also some back crests that you can get from transmog, and ultimately this all comes from a new currency that's called Bronze Celebration Token. And you'll get them from weekly quests and activities, and apparently we're going to get a lot of these. And the reason you're going to need a lot of these is the tier 2 sets are coming back completely sexified up. sexified up. Is that, it's not a word, I know it's not a word, but I'm rolling with it. But yeah, I mean, they look absolutely fantastic. And they even address the fact that some of these classes didn't exist: monk, demon hunters, evokers, etc. And they've done something pretty special for those. So don't get upset if you play one of the newer classes. You've got the Death Knight, let's say Imagined Tier 2, that's modelled on the Lich King. You've got Illidan for the Demon Hunters. You've got Nefarium for the Evokers. I mean, the sets look fantastic. So you're going to want to be doing your weeklies to be able to get all of this currency to get your full transmog. And remember, you've got a couple of months at least, so you haven't got to panic. There's no rush because there's going to be a lot going on with Season 1 starting, and this don't sound like it's going to follow on too much long after. This is also the time where Dracthyr are going to be able to be more than just evokers. So if you create a Dracthyr, you're now going to be able to also be a hunter, a rogue, a priest, a mage, a warrior, or a warlock, which is really cool. I know a lot of people that have been wanting to do something other than evoker as Dracthyr, so this is when it's going to happen. They also showed off a new skywriting talent called Squadrons, which looks pretty cool as well. And like I said, you should look at all of this as an entire patch, not just a 2 to 3 week anniversary event. This is not like here today, gone tomorrow. This is going to last, some of it, forever. As I say, like with the time walking dungeons for the vanilla dungeons, I'm just intrigued to see what they actually do with Blackrock Depths. But what do you think of it? I think it sounds fantastic. Definitely looking forward to getting in Blackrock Depths and seeing what that's like, even though we know it's going to be quite accessible content, so it's not like it's going to drop the best gear in the world, but still, it's going to be pretty fun to do. So if you enjoyed the video, as always, like and subscribe, consider joining the channel as a member, and I'll see you on the next one.